くときに夢の世界 Kiss my 世界に Let's go ファンタジーとサイファイにいろいろあるね
Hi guys, it's Kawaii Pixie, or you could just call me Kendra because that's my real name, whatever you prefer. Okay, so about like 6 months ago, 6 to 8 months ago I think it was, I'm not sure, I did my very first video and it was called Exorcist Movie Review. You guys seem to really like that, and I haven't done any movie reviews since. I wanted to make, the reason, like, okay, so you guys would probably say to yourselves, my YouTube channel is all over the place. There's not one theme. And the reason being that is because I feel like if you have a YouTube channel and you want to do it not only for your viewers, but you want to have fun when you're doing it. So I want to do many things with my channel. So I want to do, sometimes I'll do anime stuff, sometimes I'll do movie reviews, sometimes I might do vlogs, I don't know, and sometimes I might go live and let you guys just chill to music, whatever. Which I mostly, when I do that, it's for Twitch, so that's really why I don't do a lot of lives. Okay, so I did a movie review on The Exorcist from the 1970s, and I'm pretty sure it was like 1975 maybe. But anyway, I wanted to do another movie review because you guys really seem to like that, and I haven't done a movie review in a long time. So I want to do a movie review on Incredibles 2, but I always, because it's really popular, it came out, I think, last year, this year, whatever, and I really like Disney and Pixar, and I really don't do a lot of things with Disney, but I really wanted to do not only a movie review, but I also wanted to go on some theories that people have been talking about, and they think they've poked holes in it, but I want to show you why the theories that they think they've poked holes in really can be sidestepped. Okay, so let's start with the review. Okay, so when we join in on Incredibles 2, they pretty much start. Okay, so back to what I was saying. There is a theory that, okay, if you have not watched Monsters Inc., which I'm pretty sure you guys have, anybody has seen that, but if you haven't watched Monsters Inc., spoiler alert, but I really don't need to do that because everyone has watched Monsters Inc. It's awesome, and it's amazing, and it's emotional, and you will cry at the end because of poor little Boo having to leave Sully or whatever. But anyway, that's not what, we're getting off track. What I wanted to talk about is there is some theories that Boo is actually Violet from The Incredibles. Everybody thinks that they've poked holes in this theory, and I want to show you why that is bullshit. Okay, so everybody thinks that they've poked holes into the theory, but I want you to think about it this way, why your theories are, irrelevant. Why you poking holes in the story is irrelevant. Okay, so some people said that, they said that Violet could be actually Boo from The Incredibles. They really did, and if you think about it, they really never said. They really never said what Boo's real name is. Some people said that there's actually an Easter egg that has her name on the like a poster or a sign in her room. I'm not 100% sure if that's correct because I've tried to spot it and I've never spotted it and I could not see it. There's supposed to be a name called Mary that's written on there. Okay, but everybody has some of you guys have a theory that Boo is actually Violet from The Incredibles. Now there are some people that think they poked holes in this, but I want to recap on the things that you think you poked holes in. Okay, so everybody was saying Boo has brown eyes, Violet has blue eyes. While this is true, I need to remind you guys that actually, think about it. Violet is a trained superhero. She is trained and taught to hide her identity. They wear masks, and she wears masks, and she has her costume. But if you've ever thought about it, Mr. Incredible has blonde hair, and Mrs. Incredible has like a strawberry brunette kind of burgundy color hair. Violet has none of those. And Violet also, while she does have blue eyes and Boo has brown, you have to think about it this way. Violet is a superhero, and she is trying to hide her identity as much as possible. And I don't think they would do this in a cartoon. I don't know. They wouldn't specify this, but there's no actual proof of my theory, but I want to talk to you about this. There's actually, people in the story, she could have bought colored contacts to go push it a little bit further to hide her identity. So, yes, while Boo has brown eyes, but she also does have the dark hair like Violet, and she has the same kind of skin tone as Violet. And everybody said, there was some people that said, well, Violet has blue eyes, Boo has brown eyes. While that is true, like I said, she could be wearing colored contacts. And, let's see. Sorry. And, let's see. Also, there are some theories to, debunk the, brown eyes and the blue eyes. Yes, like I said, could be wearing contacts. But if you think about it, they had a point. And there's a video I watched, and I wanted to do my own version of it. This is why I'm doing this. And you think about it, Boo and Violet both have some similarities. For example, Boo is able to, for example, Violet's obviously able to turn invisible, and she's able to disappear in random places. When Sully and Mike was taking care of Boo and trying to return her to her door, Boo would disappear in many places. Like, for example, she ended up in one bathroom stall and then ended up all the way across the factory. She would be right through one door, and then she'd be all the way to the other side of the factory. And just in an instant. Now, I know toddlers are pretty crafty. I have a toddler. But it is almost physically impossible for Boo to quickly go from one end of the factory to the other without some type of power. So I do think that theory could be one of them. I think that Boo could be Violet. Like I said, yes, she has brown eyes, and yes, Violet has blue. But then again, Violet does not look like Mr. Incredible or Mrs. Incredible. Violet could be adopted. Or, Mrs. Incredible could have, had another husband before him. But another thing is that, like I said, she could wear contacts. She could be trying to change her, lighten her skin tone or something. But they both have pretty much the same skin tone. Boo's a little darker, but I'm guessing that, Violet, she probably doesn't get a lot of sun, because you've seen how in Incredibles 1, she was shy, she was timid, she was always, invisible is a power, but it was also a very good metaphor and ironic because she was very shy. She probably didn't get out much enough to go tan because she was probably, shy. Which, I'm pale, but that's because I'm Irish. Anyway, off topic. I think that this could be the right theory. I think that the first person that posted a video like this, I think they are actually onto something. I think that it could be I think that it could be a thing. I think Boo could be Violet from The Incredibles, because then again, everybody had theories on what Boo's name could be. Some people said that Boo's name is on a poster in her room. I have looked at the movie so many times. I've tried to go back and see it, and I have not seen it. And let me just tell you, I have excellent eyesight. I could see things halfway across the yard, and I have a pretty big yard. I could see tiny things halfway across the yard. And, I'm good at, being able to spot things quickly and very far like. So if I didn't see it, I pretty much think it was probably a hoax, that everybody was saying her name was written on like a door or something, or on like a closet or something like that. So I don't think that it ever said her name. I don't think it ever had a hint that something was her name. Where was I? Okay. Like I was saying, there were theories of what her name could have been. I heard that people said that her name was on her door or on a picture on her wall or something like that, because I was curious and what her real name was. So I figured I would look it up and see if there was like little hints, or if Pixar like let out a little secret of what it could be, or like a an Easter egg or something. And I actually found that some people were saying that Boo's name is Mary, and it was on it was either on her door or on a poster on a wall. Now, I looked over it a bunch of times. Really couldn't find anything. But then again, I'm pretty sure that, I'm just not seeing it. But then again, like I said, I do have pretty good eyesight. I have horrible hearing, to be honest, but I have really good eyesight. And I could see things across the yard that nobody would be able to find. I'm good at, that's like, if I play Find It games, oh my god, they're my favorite, because I can find them so easy. And I can see things, and I can spot things quick, fast, and in a hurry, and even if they're far away. So if I didn't see it, I doubt it's there. I'm not saying I am the seer of all things. I'm not saying that everybody's lying, but I'm just saying I see things really good, and I did not see it. Again, I could probably watch the movie and try to look for it. But yeah, everybody was saying her name was Mary. I didn't see that. But there was also, like I said, there was people saying that they tried to poke holes in the theory that, hey, Violet had blue eyes, Boo had brown eyes. But if you think about it, Boo could, Violet could also be wearing contact lenses that change her color. Now, if you look, my other theory is that I think Violet is actually adopted, but I don't want to get too far into that. If you look at Dash, he looks almost identical to Mr. Incredible. Yeah, he's a little kid, but he kind of has the broad shoulders, the blonde hair, and the blue eyes, and even the same skin tone. Violet looks nothing like Mr. Incredible or Mrs. Incredible for that matter. Violet, like I said, she could be wearing contacts, but from what I see, she actually has blue eyes, she has pale skin, and she has dark hair. Now, the blue eyes, I'm not gonna push it that far, because then again, that would give people a reason to say, oh, you poked holes in your theory. Okay, so no, I'm not going to go by the eye color. But what I'm saying is that Violet could be Boo. They didn't say Boo's name in the movie. Some people, like I said, some people were saying it was Mary. I didn't see it. I tried to find it. I really did, but I didn't see anything. Now, back to The Incredibles 2. The Incredibles 2 was a good movie. Will they make an Incredibles 3? I don't know. I really hope so. I really hope it doesn't take a long time to make make the movie as it did last time. The movie itself, the first movie was pretty good. I loved the first movie, but the second movie was 10 times better, and I really enjoyed it. But in part 2, they did do they continued where they left off. They were fighting the Underminer, and but in the plot for this is that everybody was turning against superheroes because of the damage done to the city, which I honestly think is kind of bullshit, because, if they would have done nothing, a lot of people would have died. There had been, yes, there was damage to the city, but, many people could have died if they didn't do what they was doing. So, in the start of the movie, everybody's against superheroes. The Screenslaver, she was against superheroes, but not because of, the city damage. She was against superheroes because, if you remember in the story plot, again, spoiler alert, if you remember the story plot, if you remember the story plot, you remember that she starts out like she's their biggest fan. She's really sweet, and she's acts like she's trying to help each other. But in her story, her reason for hating superheroes is because how her parents died was a burglar or some type of breaking and entering, broke in, shot them both. And when they tried to call supers, nobody answered, which I don't blame her for turning against supers under that circumstance, because she was probably really young when she was a kid. I mean, when she was probably a kid. I don't know. I can't remember exactly if it says that they were kids when this happened. But she was probably really young if she was traumatized against superheroes, because of the simple fact that she thinks that the reason her parents died is because when her dad tried to get a hold of superheroes, they nobody would pick up. Now, she's been devastated. You can tell that she's a very nice, she seems like a very sweet person, and then, but her personality just seems like, on the outside she looks happy, but on the inside you can tell that she is, like, kind of depressed, or she kind of looks, like, even though she's smiling, she's hurting on the inside. You can see that in her face. I noticed that many times. I know something was, hitting her hard, and probably that depression hit her, and that's why she didn't really listen when Mrs. Incredible, or Elastigirl, or whatever you want to call her, tried to save her. I think Mrs. Incredible still felt sorry for her when she tried to save her, or that's just who Mrs. Incredible is. She just doesn't want nobody to die, even the supervillains. But I think that the movie was very good. I love the movie. I will always love Disney movies. I watch Disney movies with my little girl, and she's 3. My mom used to watch Disney movies with me. She actually still watches Disney movies with my daughter. When my daughter comes to her house, for a few days, like, she comes up there every so often. She stays for a few days, and, Kinley, my daughter, she loves Disney movies. My mom watches them with her, and we actually enjoy them. So I am a big fan of Disney. I've always been a big fan of Disney, even as an adult. And I think that The Incredibles was a very good movie, and Incredibles 2 was an excellent spinoff. Now, I heard that there were theories that there could be an Incredibles 3. I only hope that it doesn't take as long as it did to make part 2. And, I think it had a lot of good emotional settings. It had good growth in the characters, even though the characters are cartoons. It showed growth in their characters. I think that the movie was very good, and I just love Disney. I'll always love Disney. Disney's always been my favorite. Other than the 90s cartoons, I was actually born in the 90s. I was born in 93, and ever since I was little, I would always watch movies like Hey Arnold and Rocko's Modern Life, Rugrats. My favorite show was actually That's So Raven, but that was like a late 90s, early 2000s, but still. But yeah, I was a 90s child, and I loved growing up with the shows that I grew up on, and I still, honestly, if they still showed the old Disney shows on Disney right now, I would still be watching them. But Disney has a good franchise. They have good movies, and I just don't, and I like how Disney doesn't make you feel like it's limited to younger age, because, everybody can enjoy it. But like I was saying, back to my theory, that is the reason I think that Boo could be Violet from Incredibles, because they never said her name in the actual movie. Some people said that they had her name on the wall or a picture or something. I didn't see it. They said it was Mary. I think that somebody was onto something. I don't remember what YouTube channel it was. I actually looked it up a while back, and I can't remember what it was, the YouTube channel. But they had some pretty good points on why Violet could be Boo from The Incredibles, and I think that they're onto something. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. But Incredibles 2 was a good movie. I actually heard that it was had a lot of good ratings, and it got a lot of high views. And honestly, I don't blame them. Not blame them. And honestly, that wouldn't surprise me that it would be a high rating, as everybody that was young when The Incredibles 2 came out, everybody's been waiting for that sequel, Incredibles 1, and everybody's been waiting for that sequel, and they finally got it, and I really hope they make a part 3. I don't know if they will, but if they do, I really, really hope that it doesn't take this long. Now, Incredibles 2, I think that, also, I wanted to talk about their powers. I think that their powers do really well, that reflects on their personality as well. Like, for example, Mr. Incredible is the father. He's strong. He does do super strength, and he has super strength and stuff like that, and I think that's pretty much a father's build, is to be strong and to be trustworthy, and, I think that's what reflects on his personality, and I thought that was pretty cool. Mrs. Incredible. Mrs. Incredible is, in fact, obviously the mother. Mothers are supposed to be flexible. Mothers are supposed to be able to do so many things at once and handle so many emotions and handle so many things, and mothers are expected to take on anything that's thrown at them. Mrs. Incredible is actually, literally flexible. So, literally flexible. She's, literally have that superpower, but I think it's good based on a mom perspective that mothers are supposed to be. Usually they are very flexible. They're very able to multitask a lot. Very able to take on a lot at one time, and that's what a mother does. And Mrs. Incredible also does that physically and emotionally for her family. Violet is very shy. She's very she doesn't talk a lot. Even in Incredibles 2, when she got out of her shell and she started dating Tony, and she was still pretty shy, timid. Pretty much she is the embodiment of I feel invisible, and that's her personality, which pretty much, again, what I was saying, that I think that all their superpowers reflect on their personality. Now Dash, he's a very obviously his superpower is speed, super speed, and he's a young kid. He's very athletic. He's very super speed would probably reflect on, to me it would reflect on the fact that young kids, Dash is probably about 12, and young kids like that, they're hyped up all the time. They have a lot of energy, and as you can tell, even when Dash isn't speeding and running, he does have a personality that is that much energy, and his personality is very full of energy, and his personality is like very quick thinking. So there was that. Jack, I really couldn't. Jack, he has, unlike the other Incredibles, he has multiple powers. I think that Jack could be the most powerful one of them all, and even more powerful than Mr. Incredible. Yes, Mr. Incredible has super strength, but the reason being that Jack could be, be stronger, more powerful, not stronger, but more powerful than Mr. Incredible himself, is because Jack, while his powers are unpredictable, he does have a lot of tactic, and he has a lot for a little kid, for a little baby, and he has a lot of he has multiple powers. He has more things to throw at people. And I think that's why he could be stronger than Mr. Incredible with power-wise, not actual strength-wise. Jack, he has many powers that reflect on his emotions and the unpredictability of a baby, which is pretty much makes sense. Babies are unpredictable. They have many emotions, and you never know what they're going to throw at you. Jack's powers is he has anger. He turns into one of the little gremlin things, and that sets on the emotion of anger. He can also turn into fire, which is also could do with anger. Now, he can disappear into different dimensions, which makes sense on a child's unpredictable personality. That a baby's unpredictable personality, I should say, is that babies are hard to keep an eye on. They are very crafty, which is what a child does at that age. They're very crafty. They can figure out how to get into things you wouldn't even know how to get into. That reflects on his personality as a baby. And as a mother, I know kids can do things that you wouldn't expect them to do. My child is only 3, but she acts like pretty much a 10-year-old or a 8-year-old, and she knows how to do things that I wouldn't expect. And children can be very smart sometimes. Jack has so many abilities because he has so many, not just so many personalities, he has so many emotions. Now, if we have an Incredibles 3, which I hope we do, I'm pretty sure that they will make Jack a little older, which I hope they do, because I want to see more of what Jack's personality is as a child. And I think that would tell us more about what reflects on his power. Now, Incredibles 2 was a very, like I said, Incredibles 2 was a very good movie, and if you haven't seen it, oh my god, you're missing out a lot, because while it does seem like it's a kids movie, it is it's a very good movie. I would recommend that anybody watch it. Because you would love it. If you like Disney is not age restricted to me. Disney is amazing. I have always loved Disney, and if you really like Disney films and you haven't seen The Incredibles, please watch it, because it's amazing. But that's all I wanted to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this Incredibles movie review / theory. I guess I could say Incredibles movie review and theories. But yeah, this was Incredibles movie review and theories, and I hope you guys liked it. If you guys didn't, just tell me. It's okay if you didn't like it. If there's anything that you guys really like to see that you want to see, let me know. If you do like the movie reviews that I do, not very often, but you want to see more of them, let me know in the comments, or you can talk to me on Twitter. And, if you want me to do a specific movie review on any movies, just let me know. And if I haven't seen them, I will go out of my way to even watch them, so that way I can give you more movie reviews on anything you guys want to see. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys later. Some other time this week. Hopefully I can make another video this week. I know I don't make a lot of videos, but that's because I just get really busy. And I run out of ideas, and I try to come up with more, and I really would like to post more content for you. So if you guys have any ideas about what you want to see, or if you want to see another movie review on a certain movie or a certain TV show, let me know in the comments, or like I said, talk to me on Twitter, and I will do them, because I like to do what you guys like to do, because it gives me more options, and it gives me more things to explore. But anyway, I hope you guys like this video, and I will see you guys very soon, hopefully. Bye! This has been Kawaii Pixie. See ya!
眠りにつく時に夢の世界